Hi ladies, hey, Julie here, your makeup artist for mature women using Seint makeup. And I had done a video, I did it live on my Facebook group, and then I forgot to tell it not to delete it after 30 days. So I'm doing a repeat, and I'm going to do this on YouTube, and that way it'll be easily accessible. But what I want to talk about today is brushes. And you know, you may have your Seint palette and you got one brush, because brushes are expensive. They are an investment. And when I started with Seint, this is the brush that I used, quite honestly, for a couple of months. But I also had an arsenal of old brushes. I'll show you those, that I'd had for years from my other makeup company. And I'm telling you, I had them for years, because if you take good care of them and wash them now and again, although I wasn't great about washing those as regularly as I am with my Seint brushes, but if you take good care of them, they will last you for years. Okay, so I love using brushes, and most of my clients do. You can use your fingers, and then you can use one brush to blend or two brushes to blend. But I'm going to show you today how to apply your makeup using brushes. Okay, first I'm going to talk about the different brushes, and then I'm going to apply. So this is called the multitasker brush. And if you got this brush, you can use the tiny little end for eyeliner, because we use our eyeshadow for liner. You can use it to fill in your brows. You can also use the flat end to fill in your brows, or as you can see from this, I use it most often to apply my lips. So this is the multitasker. You can also use this for liner. Yeah, you can use it for liner, the small end up here for liner. So liner, eyebrows, lips. Secondly, this is a brush called the smudge brush. And I started using this brush, oh gosh, a few months ago, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, because what I do is I take this brush, and on one end, I dip it into my correcting color and pat that product in. Then I flip it over, and when I've got really bad dark circles, I put a yellow color, this mango, and I lay that down. I don't blend it all in entirely. Then I flip this brush over, and I use one end and I swipe the contour in the contour places, okay? And then I turn that brush over and I dip it in my main color, and I just go around my face with that main color. I don't blend with this. I just use it to apply. You may also do that with your 3D brush. I'm sorry, your detail brush. You might take that and pat that into a lot of my clients like to take this brush and dip it into the contour, and then they use the flat side to blend in the contour. Might even use it to blend in the blush, the cheeks, as you can see. And let me go to the 3D brush. If you're using this solely, this is like my blending brush. I use this to blend everything. So I might start blending my contour and then flip that over and blend the rest of the color, just because it's such a great blending brush, okay? That's this brush. And then there's the blush and bronzer brush that you can use if you have this brush. I often use this to blend in my cheeks because I love it. I'll use it to apply my bronzer. I use this end if I'm wearing powder. I don't wear powder a lot, but my powder girls love this. Then there's the eyeshadow brush, and this is strictly what it is. It's eyeshadows. So you use this big fluffy end for your lids and above, and then you use the tiny end to apply any accent color and blend that in, okay? So these are the brushes that I primarily use. Now there's a couple of other ones. I'm gonna talk about them that I'm gonna apply. This brush is called, I think, the buffer brush. It's really dense. So if you have this brush, this means you like a heavier makeup application. So you would dip it in or use your fingers, apply the product, and then you would use this brush to blend in everything. But you're gonna get a heavier coverage, okay? Not a lot of my clients like a heavier coverage, so I don't sell this one very often, but you may have that one. And then this is the smudge brush, and this is for my clients who like a really light coverage. I had a couple gals in the last week. They want light coverage, so the small end I use to apply the product. The bigger end I use to blend it all in, okay? So there's really no right or wrong reason. You just need to be willing to play with your brushes. Now, I've already got my face all on. I've prepped it. Ladies, if you're not using a good skincare, I'm telling you, I've got a great line. It's a Korean skincare line. It's called Rimmon. 4 simple steps. Takes about 2 minutes. This line is amazing. And this is no makeup. This is absolutely no makeup at just short of 67. And so it's a great line. If you're interested, comment or message me. I'll put my contact info below. And I would love to show you, send you a quiz so that you can start your skincare. All right, I'm priming my face. I'm putting on some primer. I've got a couple primers that I like to use, but let's go after this. Okay. So I'm going to start with my smudge brush today, all right? So just as I mentioned, what I'm going to start with is putting down my corrector, and I typically use a corrector that's kind of orangish. Lay that down, okay? And then I've got bad dark circles. If you look, I don't have it blended yet, okay? I'm going to turn that brush over, and I'm going to put a little yellow over it, just because. And if I've got any other really big hyperpigmentation areas on my face, I'll touch those up. But I'm telling you, they have lessened significantly with this skincare line. All right. Then I'm going to flip that brush over, and I'm going to apply my contour right here in those spots. Then I'm going to turn that brush over, and I'm going to apply my main highlight. My main highlight right now is Athens. Okay, right down the middle of my face on these, I don't know what you call those, frown lines, and then under and over my contour. Then I'm done with this brush, all right? Then I'm either going to take my detail brush or my 3D brush. Let's take my 3D brush today. And I'm going to go after that contour and just blend it in. The reason I love to use primer, ladies, is because it really helps. That contour is thick with Seint. And so it's hard to blend in sometimes, especially in the winter. So you can put it on your face and then let it warm up to your face a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to flip that brush over, and I'm going to blend in the rest of the color. All right. So you might use this brush. You might prefer to use the detail brush, okay? Just because it's really skinny and just gets that contour line really nicely. Doesn't matter, okay? So blending in with this detail brush. Again, if you wanted heavier coverage, I would have recommended a different brush than this one. Or if you wanted lighter coverage, I would have recommended a lighter brush. Okay, now notice, I still haven't blended this in. So this is where I take either this pointy end here, and I don't pull a lot, but I poke it into that corner. Or I might take the tiny end of my detail brush. I've got some dark matter there, okay? And I blend that all in, okay? And then I'm going to take whatever's left, and I'm going to go up onto my eyelid just as to blend a little more, okay? All right. There I've got my main colors on. From here, then I'm going to I might take today, let's take this brush. I'm going to dip it into my cheek color, and I'm just going to, okay, again, you could use your fingers. I'm using this end of this brush. And then if you've got one brush, just use that brush and blend it all in. Just to show you today, though, I'm going to blend in with the detail brush. And it's just fun to play with these brushes. They're so good. They're so good. If you don't have brush cleaner, either the spray or the soap, order that. Okay. Now, I could be done if I wanted to. I'm not. Today, I'm going to use my contour for my eyebrows. And so when I do that, I use the multitasker brush and I just go in with that tiny end and fill in my brows. Now, if I'm using an eyeshadow, then I most typically use this end because I get it a little bit wet and I dip it into my eyeshadow, okay? So there's how I need a little bit more. This is how I use the contour for my brows. Okay, this seems complicated when you first start. It really does. It does. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started, I thought, I am not gonna do all this. Now it takes me less than 5 minutes to do my makeup. It's really super simple to do. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and let's do my eyes. Today I'm going to lay down a little bit of Everest just on my lid past my crease. It's kind of a smoky gray. That's really nice. And then let's take just a little bit of, this is called Kin. I don't know. Yeah. And put that out in the corners. I don't wear very heavy eye makeup these days partially because my age, can make you really look old and tired, and I just don't do that much anymore. All right, and then I'm gonna take the fatter end of this, and I'm just gonna take some of that smoky color again and just lightly put it underneath my eyelashes, okay? Instead of drawing on a line. Okay, I could quit there. If I wanted to, I could take just a little bit of light shimmer and just dot a little bit of that in. And then again, here's another reason why we call this the multitasker brush. I've got it. Listen, if you don't have a cleaning tile, get a cleaning tile for your palette, because you take that brush and you just kind of smush it in there, and then it gets off all the excess of the old color. And you can kind of blend it in. So I like to use that multitasker brush to kind of blend here. Okay. All right, pretty much I'm done. I'm going to use just my finger to put a little bit of illuminator here. And if I wanted to use powdered shimmer, I could use my powder brush, put a little bit of illuminator right here. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, I take that multitasker brush again and just put it into a little bit of my lip and cheek color. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful, ladies. Of course, reach out if you have any questions. I need to do my hair now, and then I'll be set for the day. Yeah, definitely got to do my hair. All right, so have fun playing with your brushes.